Hey, so let's talk about music. Have you ever wondered how a song can just hit you, give you goosebumps? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a secret code, like a hidden language. And today, we're going to learn how to speak it. Let's dive in.
Seriously, think about it. You're in a boss battle, and the music makes your heart pound. Or you're watching a sad movie scene, and the song just gives you chills. It's not an accident. Those composers are using a hidden system to make you feel exactly what they want you to feel. And today, we're going to crack that code wide open.
So to learn any new language, you've got to start with the basics, right? The alphabet. In music, our alphabet is made up of notes, and every single note has something called pitch. Let's get into what that really means.
Okay, so pitch is just a fancy word for how high or how low a sound is. You know, like a bird's chirp? That's a really high pitch. It's because the sound is vibrating super, super fast. And then you have the total opposite, like a big, booming bass drum. That's a low pitch, coming from slow, lazy vibrations. That's really all it is.
And get this, the musical alphabet is actually way simpler than the one we use for writing. There are only 7 letters. That's it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. After G, the whole thing just loops right back around to A, just a little bit higher. Every pop song, every video game theme, all of it is built from just these 7 letters.
All right, so we've got our letters. Now it's time to figure out the spacing between them, because that distance is what creates the entire vibe of a song. So let's start measuring. That space between two notes, it's called an interval. And this isn't just some boring term from a textbook. It is the secret ingredient. You see, a small jump between notes can feel really calm and chill, but a huge leap can sound super epic and heroic. The intervals are what build the entire mood.
So how do we measure these jumps? Well, think of it like pixels on your phone screen. The tiniest possible unit in music, the smallest jump you can make, is a half step. If you look at a piano, it's literally just moving from one key to the very next one. Doesn't matter if it's block or white. And a whole step, that's just 2 of those half steps put together. Every melody you've ever heard is just a pattern made from these little musical pixels.
So what happens when we start stringing these steps together in a pattern? We get something called a scale. And this is a huge deal because picking a scale is basically like picking an emotional filter for your entire song.
Now, the 2 most common filters, or scales, are major and minor. A major scale usually sounds bright, cheerful, happy. You can think of it like a bright, sunny filter you'd slap on a photo. A minor scale, though, sounds more serious, maybe a little sad or dramatic, kind of like one of those moody, atmospheric photo filters. They use the same notes, but the pattern totally changes the feeling.
And here it is, the literal cheat code for that happy, sunny sound. The major scale is always built with the same pattern. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. I'm serious. You can start on any note you want, but if you follow that exact recipe of steps, it'll always have that bright, major sound. Now look at the cheat code for the minor scale. The pattern is different. Whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. See that? Just by moving where those half steps are, you completely flip the emotional switch of the music. That tiny change is the difference between a hero's theme song and the sad backstory music for a villain. It's that powerful.
Okay, up until now, we've only been talking about playing notes one at a time. That's called a melody. It's the main part of the song that you can hum along to. But what happens when you start playing notes at the same time? Well, that's when we start building the foundation. This is called harmony. And a great way to think about it is this. If the melody is the main character in a TV show, then harmony is the entire support squad. You know, the best friends, the family. They back up the main character and make the whole story feel richer and way more interesting.
And the number one way we hear harmony is through chords. A chord is just a group of 3 or more notes, all played at once. And these things are the absolute backbone of a song. They're like the steel frame of a skyscraper. They give the whole thing its shape and all of its strength. And you know what? Building a basic chord is actually super easy. You just use the scale you already know. You pick a starting note, then you skip the very next note in the scale, and then you add the one right after that. That's the formula. Pick 1, skip 1, add 1. Boom! You just built a chord.
So look, here's the main thing to remember. Music isn't just some random magical thing that happens. Not at all. Every single song you love, from a viral TikTok sound to an epic movie soundtrack, is built from these same exact parts. It's all just a creative pattern of notes, steps, scales, and chords, all put together to tell a story and make you feel something.
So now you know the secret. You've got the code. The next time you put on your headphones, I want you to really listen. Can you hear if the song is in major or minor? Can you feel how the chords are holding everything up? The music hasn't changed, but the way you hear it will. So now that you know the code, what new secrets are you going to hear?